Please do not listen to this recording whilst driving or operating any machinery. Hello there, my name is Ellen Booth and I'm a registered clinical hypnotherapist, and I also am an adult survivor of childhood sexual abuse. Now, just to begin, I would like to give you some information that I found online that I think's quite relevant. So here's the information that I found. Sexual abuse of boys is a significant issue affecting approximately 1 in 6 boys before the age of 18, with profound psychological and emotional consequences. Research indicates that about 1 in 6 boys will experience sexual abuse before they turn 18 years old. Many of these cases go unreported, with males being less likely to disclose their experiences compared to females. A significant percentage of boys who are sexually abused actually know their abuser, often being family members or acquaintances. Cultural expectations regarding masculinity can hinder boys from reporting abuse. The belief that boys should be strong and self-reliant often leads to feelings of shame and isolation among survivors. And finally, which is relevant to the experience I also had, common misconceptions about male sexual abuse can be harmful. It is essential to recognise that a boy's response to abuse, including any physical arousal, does not imply consent or responsibility for the abuse, which is very similar to what happened to me when I was abused. There was physical and sexual arousal. There was enjoyment that I call a guilty pleasure, because it is something where the abuser makes you feel that you are part of it, and they manipulate and brainwash you into thinking that it's something that you wanted to happen, that you're a part of it as much as them. Not the case. It does not imply consent or responsibility for the abuse, because the abuser is targeting young boys who are innocent and too young to understand anything about sex whatsoever. So, of course, the innocent child that doesn't know anything about anything sexual at all does not understand that all as it is their bodily parts working as they should. And it might have been that you experienced arousal, it might have been that there was enjoyment, or it might have been the guilty pleasure where you had an orgasm. Again, that does not imply consent or responsibility for the abuse. All as that is your bodily parts working as they should. So I wanted you to know that about, because that's very relevant. People think that the child is kicking and screaming and hating every minute of it. Not the case. Because a lot of the time the abuser has manipulated the child with love and affection, and the child likes the love and attention that they get. They like the guilty pleasures that they get, and they're too young to understand that they're actually being exploited and used for the abuser's own sick gratification. It's all down to the abuser. There is no blame on the child. There is nothing the child could have done to stop it at all. They put the fear of God up you if you tell anyone, and put the blame on you, or if you tell anyone it'll cause extreme family upset and all this. Oh, you don't want to get me in trouble, I'll be taken away by the police and you'll never see me again. You know, putting the fear of God up the child, putting blackmail, emotional blackmail on the child. And if it was the case that the abuse was by someone outside of the family who wasn't a friend of the family's or anything, and they were someone that the child did not really know, they were people that were not known to the child, if that's the case as well, again, a boy's response to abuse, including any physical arousal, does not imply consent or responsibility for the abuse. So I just wanted to share that with you and slip a few things in myself from the research that I did online. But anyway, I'm now going to do some hypnotherapy with you. It's inner child healing, where you connect with the boy that you once were, and you have communication going between the two of you, your adult self and the boy that you once were. And what you can quite often find is when an adult, and I myself have had this, when you're an adult and you look back on the abuse, you tend to look back on it with the child eyes, with the child's perception. And the child's perception of what happened at the time of the abuse is, why didn't I tell anyone? Why didn't I stop it? Why didn't I run away? Why didn't I punch him in the willy and run away? Or why didn't I scream? Why didn't I shout? Why did I not alert somebody to what was happening? Why? And that child carries that guilt and that pain of, what if I done this? What if I done that? Truth of the matter is, there was nothing you could have done. You probably were very nervous and frightened. You wouldn't have had a clue what was being done to you or why they did that. All as you would have known was that it was wrong, because all children who are sexually abused, they know in the back of their mind that it's wrong, that the adult shouldn't be doing that, or whoever it is. They know in the back of their mind that it's wrong, but they don't know what it is, and they don't understand what's happening to them. Let alone being scared and frightened and not knowing how to deal with it and how to stop it from happening. And, you know, the way it is with inner child healing that I'm going to do is, as your adult self, you would communicate across to the boy that you once were, and you would talk to them with adult eyes. You would say, as your adult self, what could you have done? What could you have done about it? And you explain that, how it wasn't anything that was their fault, and you explain why. And as the child, you, the boy that you once were, the boy would ask questions, the boy would give answers, and in return, as the adult, you would ask questions, you would give answers. Inner child healing is about making a connection with your inner child and having a communication from your adult self to the child and the child to your adults. So it's almost like you're having a conversation with yourself, and it's the adult you and the child you that's having this conversation between the two of you. And you can offer the child lots of love and support. You can hug that child. You can tell them how much they're loved, that you'll always be there and nothing is ever going to harm them again because you will protect them. You will rescue, you can rescue that child that may never have been rescued. You can be the loving support that child never had. And in return, that child can give you, the adult, support in any way that it can. So that's what inner child healing is. It's basically, I'm going to help you have a conversation with yourself, basically, as an adult and as a child. So I shall now begin. If you'd like to make yourself comfortable, whether you prefer to sit up and listen or lay down is absolutely fine. But uncrossing any hands, arms, legs or feet. And this is to allow circulation throughout your body when you are deeply relaxed. And you can have your eyes open or closed, or you can open and close them at any point throughout. Now, just before we continue, I'd like to explain to you about how your imagination works. We all have a very powerful imagination. You have a visual imagination, a visual ability that sees all of your thoughts, images, pictures, colours, visualizations inside your mind, just as clearly as the physical eyes on your face see the outside world every day of your life. And your mind's eye can see just as clearly as when you are dreaming, when you sleep at night. And your mind's eye and your imagination can see so clearly You may wonder if your physical eyes on your face are open or closed because you may not be able to tell. And you also have an inner sense of auditory hearing in your mind that hears all of your thoughts, all of the words you say to yourself, all of the sounds in your imagination, like when a song goes round in your head and you can hear it the same as if it was being played out loud, but in your head. You also have feeling in your imagination, where you could imagine how something felt if it touched your skin. You have a very powerful imagination, and in a moment I'm going to take you on a little journey, and you can use the power of your imagination by visual, sound and feeling, and follow each and every word you hear me say to you as you are imagining it exactly at the same time as each and every word you hear me say. Okay. I'd like you to imagine and visualise that you are stood at the top of a stairway, a concrete stairway that has 10 wide, large steps that go down. Now, before you go anywhere, don't go anywhere, because in a few moments I am going to guide you and count you down those 10 wide steps. And these steps, they lead to a beautiful garden. Maybe a garden in your imagination, or a garden you have been to before. But this is a place that you will feel safe and secure. Nothing can get in, nothing can disturb you in this safe and secure place, because it's your place, your special place, where only you can come. So that's where the stairs leads. And in a few moments' time, I'm going to count you down those 10 wide steps. And with each descending step between 10 and 1 that I count you down, you'll go even more deeper and deeper relaxed with each descending step. There may be times that you are so physically and deeply relaxed that you may not even feel your body at all. But your mind will be very, very highly alert, very aware of each and every word you hear me say. Okay, so ready. 10, taking that first step down now, drifting deeper and deeper relaxed. 9, and another step down, drifting even more deeply relaxed. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and stepping into that beautiful garden where the stairs have led you. Now, okay, and you look around you and see all the beautiful greenery, all of the nature, all of the beauty and serenity of this peaceful, wonderful place. A beautiful place that you can come to anytime you want to. You just take yourself there in your mind. And right now, you feel calm, relaxed, and at peace. Totally safe and secure. Okay. Now, if you sit yourself down in this beautiful place. Sit down on the ground, on the lovely soft grass. And as you sit there, in a few moments' time, I'm going to help you introduce yourself to yourself. I'm going to help you introduce yourself to yourself. Because ever since what happened to you all those years ago when you were a boy, ever since then, that boy that you once were never left you. That boy of that significant age that you were when what happened to you never left you. And you have had a little boy or a young boy inside of you ever since. A child screaming to be heard, perhaps to be loved, perhaps many things. And this boy, this inner child of you, is a part of you from long ago. Maybe you have known they were there, or maybe you never knew they were there. But they've been with you ever since. Trapped inside of you. And this inner child, this boy, never grew up. They remain the same as the age you were when what happened to you. A child frozen in time at the age you were when it happened. Now, in a few moments' time, I'm going to help you connect with the boy that you once were. I'm going to help you connect. And when you do, they will be sat very close to you on the soft grass in this beautiful garden. They will be sat with you. They will be sat directly in front of you where you can see them very clearly. They will look as you did back then. They will be wearing clothing that you wore back then. They will be you, but a lot younger, because it will be the boy you once were. A child, you will be looking at the boy you once were. And they'll be looking back at you. And you will be able to ask the boy questions and give answers to any questions the boy asks. And the boy will ask you questions and want answers that you can give, and give you any answers that you may need. And in order to do this, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And each number I count forward from 1 to 5. On each number, the child, the boy you once were, will slowly form in front of your very eyes. They will form in front of you, sat on the grass in this beautiful place. First of all, the first few numbers I count, they might be a little vague. They might not be a very clear image. But each number I count forward, that image will get clearer and clearer. And on the count of 5, they will be very visible, sat directly in front of you. Okay, so ready. I'm now going to help you meet your inner child. So ready. 1. A subtle, ghostly-like vision. A faded, ghostly vision. 2. That image starts to become a little clearer with each number that I count. 3. 4. 5. Okay. And you are now looking at each other. You make eye contact and you look at each other. You can give that boy you once were all the love that it needs. You can give that boy you once were all of the affection, all of the encouragement, all of the confidence building and encouragement that you want to give. This is your chance now to do yourself some justice and help yourself. And I'm going to give you 3 minutes of silence for you to be with that boy. And I will come back to you after 3 minutes of silence. And in that time, you can both say whatever you need to say to each other. And I give you that 3 minutes of silence now. Okay. So, I hope that you were able to be with yourself, to be kind to yourself, to learn from yourself. I hope that you had some answers that helped. That will help you find peace in your soul for what happened all those years ago. Now, in a few moments' time, I'm going to ask you to say goodbye to your inner child. But just before you do, you can reassure that child that the door is always open and that child is always welcome. The door will always be open at an appropriate time. Not when you're working, not when you're doing important things, but at an appropriate time. The door is always open. And should that child ever want your love and support, the door is always open and the child is welcome. And they are welcome to stay as long as they want. If they never want to leave, that's fine. Maybe one day, when you're much better, your inner child may choose to leave, may grow up and match the age you are now, or might just leave on its own accords. When you're better. But there is no worry. If that child wants to stay, the child is welcome. No one is kicking the child out, because that child is your child, a part of you. That boy you once were, you are their father now. You are the boy's father, loving father, good man. You are a loving father to that boy you once were. You be your own parents and help yourself, which is called self-parenting. So now, if you could just say goodbye to that boy. Farewell for now until the next time. And should you ever want to speak to that boy ever again, and you want to do this again, you take yourself somewhere quiet and you close your eyes and you call upon the boy, and the boy will come. So, that's inner child healing. And the more times you repeat this process, perhaps by listening to the recording however many times, or you might just do it in your own imagination, your way of doing it, that is absolutely fine. I wish you well on your recovery, and I hope you find peace in your soul. I hope you do. Might take a while, might take quite a bit of work, but you can be there for yourself and help yourself, and help the boy you once were. As the saying goes, if you want something done properly, you're better off doing it yourself. If you want something done at all, sometimes you're better off doing it yourself. And you can help yourself feel much better. It's not an easy thing having therapy. A lot of the time it's very expensive, and a lot of the time you get therapists that may not be very good at what they do. Sometimes it might not be a very helpful therapist. And getting the right help is not always easy. But on this journey that you are on, you're on a journey now. Maybe you started that journey before this therapy. Maybe you're only starting the journey now by listening to this. And this might be your first ever therapy. But I want you to know you will get better. You will get better. I have every faith in you that you'll get better. Because I got better. Took me a long time, but I got better. And I know you can as well. You can get better and improve the way you feel. Improve your life. And it all boils down to your own commitments to regularly help yourself. And I hope that this experience has been helpful to you. I hope you feel a bit better about everything. And I want you to tell that boy that it was not their fault. I'm telling you now, it wasn't your fault. There was nothing you could have done to change it, to stop it. So, in a few moments' time, I'm going to awaken you and bring you out of this hypnotic meditation. But just before I bring you out, I just want to reiterate something to you. Common misconceptions about male sexual abuse can be very harmful, and it is essential to recognise that a boy's response to abuse, including any physical arousal, does not imply consent or responsibility for the abuse. There was nothing you could have done. Nothing. Nothing to change, nothing to stop it. And now you cannot change what happened. What's done is done. You can't change the past, but you can change how you feel about it. You can change everything about the way you feel about it. It's all down to your feelings and how you feel about it. That's what you need to work on making yourself better. And it will be a journey. I can't tell you how long that journey's gonna be, but you owe it to yourself. You owe yourself that justice to put right what was wrong and what happened all those years ago, to put it right. Put it right by helping yourself. Sometimes yourself is the best person to help. I, myself personally, I underwent about 20 years of therapy, and very little was off other therapists. Most of it, I did it on myself. And sometimes you are the best person to help. And there will be many more videos on this channel. Many more videos about helping male survivors of childhood sexual abuse. There will be many more on this channel. And it's all free. It's all free. It's for you, to help you get better. Okay. I'm now going to wake you up. In a few moments' time, you'll hear me count from 1 to 10. You'll become more and more awake with each ascending number. By the count of 8, you'll open your eyes. And by the count of 10, you'll be fully wide awake. 1, 2, 3, waking yourself up. 4, 5, 6, more and more awake. 7, 8, opening your eyes. 9 and 10, fully wide awake.